Do you feel the subtle, persistent gap between who you are today and the titan you are destined to become? Are you striving for personal breakthroughs, professional ascendancy, or a deeper understanding of success, only to find your current reality lagging behind your highest aspirations? Many stand at this precipice, their potential vast, yet their present circumstances unyielding, caught in a silent struggle against the inertia of the present, yearning for a future that seems perpetually out of reach. This isn't a deficit in your ambition or your capability, not a flaw in your potential. It is, in fact, a universal challenge, a fundamental truth of human endeavor, the chasm between intention and manifestation, between the dream whispered in the quiet hours and the world-shaking reality that ought to follow. True success is not merely attracted by vague hopes or faint wishes. It is demanded into existence, compelled into form by a profound internal shift, a change that originates not in the external world but within the deepest chambers of your being. The secret lies not in doing more or working harder in the conventional sense, but in being more, a masterful command of your inner world, a deliberate cultivation of your psychological landscape that compels your outer reality to align with breathtaking precision. By the end of this session, you will possess the mental blueprint, the very key to act as if you've already achieved your greatest aspirations. You will learn to bridge the illusory gap between where you are and where you are destined to be, unlocking a powerful psychological advantage, an almost alchemical force that attracts the very success you seek, not by chance, but by design. The journey begins with a foundational understanding, a principle often overlooked in its profound simplicity, the principle of preemptive ownership. This is the foundational truth, as immutable as any law of physics, that the universe responds not to your wishes, nor to your hopes, but to your certainty. It means embodying with every fiber of your being the state of your desired future now. This is not a naive exercise in mere pretense or a superficial act of delusion. It is a deep psychological internalization, a profound reprogramming of your subconscious. It is about embracing, with unwavering conviction, the feelings, the thoughts, and the very identity of the person who has already achieved what you seek. Consider for a moment the legendary innovators who pursued ideas deemed not just challenging, but outright impossible by the prevailing wisdom of their time. Think of Henry Ford, standing in a world of horses and carriages, not merely hoping for an automobile in every household, but envisioning it with such clarity that he lived within that future. He didn't just design the cars, he designed the system for mass production, the economic model for widespread ownership, and the very lifestyle that cars would enable. He lived in the reality of his creation before it ever materialized. His actions, his decisions, his very bearing were those of an individual who already owned that future. Or contemplate Steve Jobs returning to Apple, a company on the brink of collapse, and conceptualizing the personal computer, the iPod, the iPhone devices that didn't just improve existing technology, but redefined entire industries. He didn't hope these revolutionary products would resonate. He knew they would. He inhabited the reality of their success, not as a distant possibility, but as an already accomplished fact. His relentless pursuit of perfection, his uncompromising vision, stemmed from an internal certainty that transcended mere ambition. He lived as if the future he envisioned was already here, and in doing so, he pulled that future into the present. These visionaries didn't wait for external validation or material proof to confirm their path. They didn't hope for these futures. They lived in the reality of their creation before it ever materialized. Their actions, their decisions, their very bearing, their quiet confidence in the face of widespread skepticism were those of individuals who already owned that future. They had taken possession of their desired outcome, not just mentally, but emotionally and spiritually. They had cultivated an internal environment so resonant with their future that the external world had no choice but to conform. The principle of preemptive ownership is the conscious decision to inhabit the reality of your aspirations, making it so real within your mind that your outer world begins to reflect this internal blueprint. It's about more than just positive thinking. It's about positive being. It's about knowing, with every fiber of your being, that what you desire is not only possible, but inevitable because you have already claimed it internally. So ask yourself with profound honesty, if I had already achieved my ultimate goal, if I stood today as the person I am destined to become, how would I walk, how would I talk, how would I think, and most importantly, how would I feel right now? Would your posture be different? Your voice? The quality of your thoughts? Your daily rituals? Begin with deliberate intention to integrate those very attributes, those habits of being, into your daily existence. Don't wait for permission or external circumstances to grant you this authority. Grant it to yourself now. For the mind, in its vast and often untapped power, does not distinguish between a vividly imagined reality and an actual one. When you activate the neural pathways of achievement through preemptive ownership, you begin to lay the groundwork for your physical reality to catch up. This leads us to the second cornerstone, a principle that fortifies the first, the forge of internal certainty. This principle asserts, with irrefutable logic, that your external reality is but a mirror reflecting your deepest internal convictions, your most profound, often subconscious beliefs about yourself and your potential. Doubt, in this grand scheme of manifestation, is not merely an inconvenience, it is the corrosive agent, the silent destroyer, the insidious static that corrupts the signal between your desire and its physical actualization. Doubt is the enemy of achievement, the silent assassin of dreams. To act as if is to systematically eliminate this internal resistance, this gnawing doubt and the paralyzing grip of fear, thereby forging within you an unshakable belief in your inevitable success. This isn't blind optimism, nor is it a naive disregard for reality. It's a deliberate, disciplined cultivation of an unyielding inner state, a psychological fortress against the storms of skepticism and adversity. Consider the rigorous mental preparation of elite athletes, those who stand at the pinnacle of their chosen discipline. Before the race begins, before the decisive match commences, the champions are not merely visualizing victory in a detached, intellectual way. They are feeling the victory in their muscles, experiencing the triumph in their very bones, and their bodies and minds are responding to that visceral internal certainty. They simulate every step, every shot, every challenge, not just in their mind's eye, but in the deepest parts of their nervous system. This is not just mental rehearsal, it is a profound internal pre-experiencing of the outcome. They are not hoping to win. They are knowing they will win because they have already won it 1,000 times in the forge of their own mind. This mental rehearsal, this profound internal forge, prepares them to perform at their absolute peak when the moment arrives, transforming potential energy into kinetic action. The physiological responses, the neurological pathways, are already primed for success because the certainty has been cultivated within. Most people approach their goals by focusing on external obstacles, on the how and the what if. But the true masters of achievement understand that the primary battle is always an internal one. They recognize that if the internal landscape is barren with doubt, no amount of external effort will bear fruit. The forge of internal certainty demands that you confront and dismantle every self-limiting belief, every whisper of inadequacy, every echo of past failures. It means recognizing that the limitations you perceive in your external world are often just reflections of unexamined limitations within your own mind. It is a process of disciplined introspection, a ruthless auditing of your mental narratives. Each time a doubt arises, you must, with conscious effort, replace it with an empowering affirmation, not merely as words, but as a felt reality, recited and imbued with absolute conviction, daily. This is the inner work, the often unseen labor that precedes all outward victories. This deliberate cultivation of belief transforms wishing into knowing, and knowing into manifestation. The final, indispensable pillar, without which the first two remain mere intellectual exercises, is the echo of action. The as-if mindset, potent as it is emphatically not passive daydreaming. It demands congruent action. It is the bridge between internal conviction and external reality. It means that every decision you make, every conversation you engage in, every effort you expend, every single step you take must resonate, must vibrate with the identity of the person who has already achieved their goal. Your actions therefore become the outward echo of your internal conviction, a powerful signal, not just to the world, but most crucially to yourself, that your success is not just a distant possibility, but an inevitable outcome. Consider the aspiring entrepreneur who, long before ever launching their breakthrough product or securing their first major investment, carries themselves with the professionalism, the network, and the disciplined schedule of a successful CEO. They don't wait for external validation or a massive bank account to define their identity. They don't wait for success to dictate their actions. Their actions precede and create that success. They are not merely working on a business, they are being a business leader. Their daily routine is not haphazard, it is meticulously structured, reflecting the precision and foresight of someone already managing a thriving enterprise. They attend relevant conferences, even if they can barely afford the ticket. They network with individuals far above their current station, not out of desperation, but out of a genuine sense of belonging to that future echelon. Their communication is clear and confident. Their follow-through is impeccable. These are not acts of presumption, they are acts of alignment. They are the echoes of a future empire, manifesting in the present. Think also of the individual seeking a profound transformation in their personal life, perhaps striving for greater confidence or deeper relationships. They don't wait to feel confident before they act confidently. They choose to act as if they are already brimming with self-assurance. They initiate conversations, they stand taller, they speak with conviction. They engage in activities that the confident version of themselves would naturally pursue. This isn't faking it until you make it in a superficial sense. It's acting your way into a new way of thinking and being. It is the understanding that action, even small, consistent action, is the most powerful sculptor of identity. Each congruent action, no matter how minor, reinforces the internal belief, solidifying the certainty and amplifying the signal to the universe. It creates a virtuous cycle where internal belief fuels external action, which in turn strengthens internal belief, accelerating your trajectory towards your desired outcome. The echo of action demands that you move beyond mere contemplation and into the realm of doing. It requires you to pinpoint one small, tangible, daily action you can take today that the achieved you would perform without hesitation, almost instinctively. And then, with unwavering discipline, you must implement it immediately. Perhaps it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to focus on a key task, even when exhaustion tempts you to hit snooze. Perhaps it's engaging in a difficult conversation you've been avoiding because the achieved you operates with courage and directness. Perhaps it's investing time in learning a new skill that the achieved you would possess. These are not grand gestures, but the consistent, deliberate steps that pave the road to your inevitable success. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but that step must be taken with the conviction of someone who already sees the destination. We have explored the profound, often underestimated power of acting as if, through the foundational principle of preemptive ownership, by diligently forging the forge of internal certainty, and by decisively aligning with the echo of action. These are not mere abstract theories, not fleeting motivational platitudes. They are the fundamental, timeless laws of success, meticulously leveraged by every great achiever throughout history, regardless of their field, their era, or their specific methodology. They are the underlying currents that propel genuine progress. The main takeaway, the singular profound truth that crystallizes our entire message, is this: true success is not attracted by passive wishing, nor is it granted by external forces. It is commanded, it is summoned, it is brought forth by becoming. The future you desire, the grand vision that calls to you from beyond the horizon, is not a distant, elusive destination. It is an identity you choose to embody, fully and irrevocably, right here, right now, in this very moment. It is the conscious decision to shed the skin of your current limitations and step into the skin of your inevitable future. This knowledge, this blueprint is power, immense, transformative power. But like all power, it remains inert, a mere potential, unless it is applied with conviction and consistency. The time for waiting for success to find you, to knock on your door, to fall into your lap is over. That passive posture belongs to another, less potent reality. Your moment has arrived. Rise up with the full weight of your conviction and become the person who commands it. Like this video if you've committed to embracing your future self today, if you felt the surge of recognition that this wisdom is for you. Subscribe to this channel for more insights, for more profound understandings of mastering your destiny, for more keys to unlock the extraordinary within you. And in the comments below, share with this growing community one specific action, however small or significant, that you will take starting today, an action that is a true echo of your accomplished future self. What single act will you perform, acting as if you've already achieved it? Your journey, in its truest sense, begins now.